You walked up to that check-in counter knowing you followed every rule. Bag under 50 pounds. Carry on within limits. You did everything right. What you didn't know is that scale hasn't been calibrated in months. And that agent? She's not paid to tell you. She's paid to collect. Here's what the airlines don't want you to know. The Department of Transportation has federal regulations that make at least 8 common airline fees legally questionable or outright prohibited. Yet, airlines keep charging them on passengers without knowing, because they know you won't push back. We're about to fix that. All 8. But before we begin, could you please subscribe to my channel? Your bag weighed 48 pounds at home. At the airport, that same bag reads 53. The agent shrugs. Overweight. That's $75. Maybe more. You pay it because what else are you going to do? Miss your flight over a scale? Here's the twist. Airport scales are rarely calibrated. A DOT audit found some off by as much as 15 pounds. That's not a rounding error. That's a system designed to collect fees from people who did nothing wrong. DOT Rule 14. CFR 399 requires airlines to use accurate scales and disclose weight-based charges honestly. If your bag was fine at home and suddenly overweight at the counter, that scale is working exactly as intended. What to say? I'd like a supervisor to verify this on a different scale. If this one's uncalibrated, I'm filing a DOT complaint. Watch that fee disappear. Same bag, same airline. Fit in the seizure last month. Today, suddenly, it doesn't. Not a coincidence. Airlines increasingly use third-party contractors at the gate, companies that manufacture those shiny seizure units. And those contractors often earn commissions per bag flagged. Smaller seizures. More flags. More fees. So you're standing at the gate, watching an agent shove your bag into a metal cage that seems just a little too tight. That's a $99 gate check fee. Or worse, your bag disappears into the cargo hold with your medication, laptop, and valuables inside. DOT rules require airlines to disclose baggage policies at booking, not ambush you at the gate. Take a photo of your bag in the seizure at the start of your trip. If flagged later, ask to see the published dimensions in writing. Not the seizure. The dimensions. You book a flight Tuesday. Wednesday, you realize it's the wrong date. You cancel within hours. The airline confirms it, but your refund? Nowhere. DOT regulation. 14 CFR 259.5b4 requires refunds to your original payment method within 7 business days for credit cards. Not a voucher, not a credit. Cash, within a week. Federal law, not airline policy. Airlines process your cancellation, then hold your money for weeks. They hope you'll forget or accept a travel credit when you call. Millions do exactly that. Never accept a voucher for a flight canceled within 24 hours. Say, I'm requesting a refund to my original form of payment under 14 CFR 259.5. I expect it within 7 business days. It's not personal, it's protocol. 3 seats, 1 reservation, and your 4-year-old is 12 rows away. The airline offers to fix it for $35 per seat. Think about that. They're charging you to sit next to your own child for seats of identical value on a reservation you book together. The DOT's family seating dashboard tracks this exact practice. Recent enforcement actions have called mandatory family seating fees an unfair and deceptive practice. Airlines are under active investigation. What to say? I booked this as a family reservation. The DOT requires airlines to seat families together when seats of equal value are available, with no additional fee. The agent may not love you. But that charge? Gone. You get the email. Your 6 p.m. flight is now 10 p.m. The airline offers a travel credit. They make it sound like a favor. Not exactly. DOT defines a significant schedule change as 3 hours or more, and a significant change entitles you to a full refund. Not a voucher, not a credit, your money. Back in your account. Vouchers expire. They restrict dates. They tie you to one airline. Every traveler who accepts one instead of demanding cash is pure profit. Under DOT rules, a change of 3 hours or more is significant. I'm requesting a full refund to my original form of payment. 4 hours is not an adjustment. It's a different flight. You check your wheelchair, your walker, your CPAP, items you literally cannot travel without. The agent tags it as oversized luggage and hits you with a fee. Wrong. The Air Carrier Access Act, federal law, explicitly prohibits baggage fees for assistive devices. Wheelchairs, walkers, CPAPs, portable oxygen. These are not luggage. They're medical equipment. No airline in America can legally charge you to transport them. But counteragents are trained to scan for oversized items. Many don't distinguish a foldable wheelchair from a large suitcase. That's not your problem.
3 words. Assistive device under ACAA. Fee gone. Now you know.
You find a fare. $249. Click through. At checkout, $312. What happened? A fuel surcharge. $40 to $60 per ticket. Buried in the breakdown. DOT rules require airlines to display the full price, all mandatory taxes, and fees at the point of sale. Before you click buy, not at checkout. And the FTC has fined airlines for surcharges that exceed actual fuel costs. If checkout is higher than the advertised fare and the difference isn't a government tax, that's a DOT compliance issue. Screenshot the advertised price. Screenshot checkout. File a complaint. Airlines have paid millions in fines for this. It's all about knowing what they're required to show you. This is the big money, and almost nobody knows it. You're bumped from an oversold flight. Involuntarily, no seat. The agent hands you a $200 travel credit and acts like they did you a favor. DOT Rule 14 CFR 250.5 mandates cash compensation for involuntary denied boarding. Up to 400% of your one-way fare, capped at $1,550. Gate agents offer vouchers first because they cost the airline nothing. The law says cash. And if they can't get you to your destination within 2 hours of your original arrival, the compensation doubles.
I'm requesting involuntary denied boarding compensation under 14 CFR 250.5. Cash, not a voucher.
The agent may look stunned. You just turned $200 into potentially over $1,000. There is a silent panic happening at boarding gates right now. Travelers frantically tearing their carry-ons apart. People unzipping bags on the floor just inches from the jetway. Passengers standing at the scanner with their credit cards out, not to buy an in-flight upgrade, but to pay a massive, unannounced penalty they never saw coming. Airlines quietly rewrote the baggage rules this summer, and it is not just about the size limit. The aggressive way these rules are being enforced right now is a completely different system than anything you have experienced before. Let's break down the first trap, one that sounds entirely routine, but carries a hidden twist. Travelers are missing completely. On paper, the official dimensions haven't budged. Legacy carriers like American, Delta, United, JetBlue, and Alaska all publish the exact same baseline. 22 inches long, 14 wide, 9 deep. It's an industry standard that hasn't changed in over a decade. But right now, the trap isn't the dimensions themselves. It's the weaponized enforcement at the gate. You know that metal sizer basket you've walked right past 1,000 times without thinking? Gate agents are actively forcing passengers into it. And this is precisely where innocent travelers get caught off guard. Protruding wheels, rigid handles, every single exterior pocket that bulges outward. The actual volume inside your luggage is completely irrelevant to the agent. Total exterior boundaries, fully packed, fully expanded, is the only score that matters. A suitcase that looks perfectly fine will trigger a penalty the moment a handle fails to flush retract, or a zipper compartment swells out. Before you head to the terminal, audit your luggage at home. Fully stuffed, handle fully raised, every pouch packed out. If your dimensions sit right on the line, assume the system has already flagged it as over. You score what looks like an incredible deal on a basic economy ticket. You just saved $40 on the base fare. You pack your trusted carry-on, reach the boarding door, and the gate agent pulls you aside. Your carry-on is completely banned on that specific ticket. on basic economy fares, pushed heavily by American, Delta, United, and others. Access to the overhead bin is now locked behind a seat upgrade or a hidden fee you were supposed to pay at checkout. Without it, you are strictly restricted to a personal item only. The airlines rolled this restriction out completely under the radar. Buried deep in the fine print, it says, personal item only. The system is designed so you only find out right at the scanner. Standing inches from the jetway, American will slap you with a $40 gate check penalty right on the spot. United enforces a similarly aggressive gate penalty. And because you are already trapped at the boarding door, you are completely locked out of the cheaper baggage rate you could have paid online days ago. Before you ever finalize a summer flight, aggressively verify your exact fare class before closing the tab. If the screen says basic economy or light fare, stop immediately and audit the baggage terms in the fine print. This next trap is going to completely change how you look at your own luggage. You purposefully bought a carry-on equipped with an expansion zipper. Maximized packing capacity. The vast majority of expandable bags are engineered to hit the maximum legal size limit in their collapsed state. The second you unzip that extra expansion compartment, your luggage expands by an extra 1 to 2 inches of critical depth. And that microscopic difference is exactly what stands between boarding smoothly and absorbing a massive gate penalty you completely unbudgeted for. Airline gate agents are now specifically trained to spot this exact visual cue. An overexpanded suitcase bulging past its rigid frame gets pulled out of line immediately. The visual silhouette alone is enough for them to intercept you. And once they pull it, the outcome is already decided. That bonus pair of shoes or jacket you shoved into the expanded fabric? It just triggered an unexpected $40 to $75 gate check fine. Fly with that expansion zipper completely locked down. If you absolutely cannot fit your belongings, bite the bullet and pay the cheaper advance rate for a checked bag online. This is where the financial damage gets incredibly painful. You found a rock-bottom ticket with Frontier, or Spirit, or Allegiant, the absolute cheapest baseline fare on the internet. It feels like you are practically flying for free. Then you show up with a carry-on, and the surprise fee slams into you like a brick wall. On ultra-low-cost carriers, overhead bags have never been part of the deal. But right now in 2026, the price penalty ladder got significantly steeper, and the extreme gap between paying online versus paying at the gate is larger than most travelers comprehend. Lock in your carry-on online at the exact moment of booking. You pay roughly $30 to $50. Wait until you hit the physical check-in counter. That spikes to $50 or $75. Show up at the actual boarding gate without paying. You get hit with a brutal $75 to $100 penalty. Per bag, per direction. Most passengers step on every rung of that ladder because they either did not read the fine print at booking or assumed they would sort it out later. Run the numbers. 2 passengers, 2 carry-ons, gate fees, round trip. You are suddenly looking at a staggering $400 in pure baggage penalties. The second you decide to book with an ultra-budget airline, you must treat the carry-on penalty as part of the immutable base ticket price and force yourself to add it at initial checkout. It is absolutely the only moment you will ever get out of it cheap. Think you are safe because you only brought a personal item? This one is for you. The rule itself has not changed. Your personal item still needs to fit under the seat in front of you. But enforcement this summer is noticeably more aggressive, especially on full flights. A personal item should measure around 17 by 10 by 9 inches. The key word in that definition is under the seat, not in the overhead bin. If your personal item goes overhead, gate agents are now treating it as a carry-on. On a basic economy ticket, that triggers the gate check fee on the spot. An overstuffed backpack that is rigid, bulging, and clearly cannot compress under a seat gets pulled. The fee follows. Keep your personal item genuinely personal item sized. If your backpack is fully packed and stiff as a board, it stopped being a personal item the moment you overfilled it. You just have not been caught yet. This summer, the odds of being caught went up considerably. Here is a misconception I hear constantly. They will just gate check it for free. Most airlines charge for gate-checked bags. American and United charge around $40. Budget carriers charge $75 to $100. Gate checking became normalized during years when agents were practically begging passengers to volunteer their bags for overhead space. That voluntary process was free. The involuntary process, when your bag does not comply with the rules and gets pulled, is absolutely not. Know your airline's gate check fee before you leave home. If your bag is borderline on size, check it online at the advance rate during booking. It is almost always $30 to $50 cheaper than what you will pay standing at the jetway with 200 people in line behind you. Now, here is the part. Airlines definitely do not advertise, and it is actually working in your favor. Certain items do not count against your baggage allowance at all. Coats and jackets, umbrellas, duty-free purchases made after you clear security, assistive devices, food purchased inside the airport. Airlines are required to allow these items regardless of your fare class. You can board holding a duty-free bag, wearing your heaviest jacket, carrying an umbrella, and none of it touches your carry-on or personal item allowance.
TSA seized over 4 million items last year. Most of it wasn't weapons. It was stuff travelers just like you packed without thinking. Shampoo, cologne, things you've carried for years. And in 2026, they're enforcing this harder than ever. I'm going to show you exactly what's getting pulled from your bag. And item number 7 is going to genuinely surprise you. The standard tube from your bathroom is 4 or 6 ounces, both over the limit. Even if it's almost empty, TSA pulls it based on container size. The fix: buy a dedicated travel size tube labeled 3.4 ounces or smaller. Keep it in your toiletry bag permanently. Don't borrow from your bathroom shelf. Still the #1 most confiscated liquid category at TSA. Full-size bottles show up immediately on the X-ray, and the second they see one, your entire bag gets pulled for a manual search. Get a set of reusable silicone travel bottles. Fill them at home. They last forever, and they'll save you from this headache on every trip. This catches people who have flown with spray deodorant before without issues. That's the trap. Enforcement is inconsistent. One day it gets through, the next day a different officer pulls it. Switch to a solid stick for travel days. Solids aren't considered liquids by TSA, so they don't go in your liquids bag and don't count toward your 1-quart limit. One swap eliminates the risk entirely. Summer travelers. This one hits hard. Most sunscreen bottles are well over 3.4 ounces, and because people associate sunscreen with health, they assume it gets a pass. It does not. Sunscreen is a liquid. Same rules apply. Buy travel size or decant into a smaller container before you leave. And apply some before you get to the airport. Between the terminal windows and UV exposure at cruising altitude, your skin takes more damage on travel days than you think. A full can of shaving cream is usually 10 ounces, nearly 3 times the limit, and because these are pressurized aerosols, they get extra attention from the scanner. Travel size cans cost about $2. Grab one, or shave before you leave and deal with it when you arrive. We're halfway through, and I haven't gotten to the item that costs travelers the most money. That's 2 items away. Stay with me. Standard Listerine is over 16 ounces, 5 times the limit. People pack full-size bottles constantly, and it gets confiscated every single time. Grab travel-size bottles from any drugstore, or switch to mouthwash tablets, which aren't liquid at all and don't need to go in your liquids bag. Here it is, the expensive one. That bottle of Tom Ford in your carry-on? $150 of liquid. If it's over 3.4 ounces, TSA takes it without blinking. This is the single most expensive item regularly confiscated at security. People don't think of perfume as a liquid in the TSA sense. To the officer at the checkpoint, it absolutely is. Buy a refillable travel atomizer. They hold about 5 milliliters, they're well under the limit, and you fill them from your full-size bottle at home in 30 seconds. This surprises almost everyone. TSA classifies gel as a liquid. Gel shoe insoles with unspecified volume can technically be flagged and confiscated. I asked TSA directly through their Ask TSA tool, and they confirmed gel insoles are currently allowed. But what's allowed on paper and what happens at the checkpoint can be different because enforcement comes down to the individual officer. If you travel with gel insoles, remove them from your shoes and place them in the screening bin alongside your liquids bag. Let the officer see them clearly instead of making them guess on the X-ray. Sounds ridiculous, but it's common. Peanut butter, Nutella, jam, hummus, anything spreadable is classified as a liquid. If it can spread, pour, or smear, it falls under 311. The ironic part, you can buy peanut butter inside the airport after security and bring it on the plane. But The same jar packed from home gets tossed at the checkpoint. Pack spreads in checked luggage where there are no liquid restrictions, or buy them after security. The most important one: prescription cough syrups, liquid pain relievers, insulin, saline solution. Good news: medically necessary liquids are exempt from 311. You can carry containers larger than 3.4 ounces. But here's where travelers mess up. They don't declare them. They toss them in with everything else. The scanner flags an oversized liquid, and the entire bag gets pulled for a full search. Pack all medications in a separate clear bag. At the checkpoint, tell the officer directly, "I have medically necessary liquids." Place them in a separate bin. They may do a quick additional screening, but you avoid a full bag search.
Checkpoint. Ladies, listen up. Those fancy new cordless straighteners that run on butane cartridges? TSA hates them. The butane is a pressurized gas. If you put this in a checked bag, it is treated as a hazardous explosive. You can bring one in your carry-on, but it must have a safety cover over the heating element. If you pack a spare butane refill, confiscate it immediately, no exceptions. Seniors love these for cold flights, but they are a trap. The vest itself is just fabric, but the battery pack inside is pure lithium. I see people fold the vest and check it, forgetting the battery is still zipped in the pocket. You can check the vest, but you must unplug and remove the battery and carry it with you in the cabin. Do not leave it connected.